We are ready to start the final round of the World Cezve Ibrik competition to 2022 here in Milan. I'd like to welcome our judges to the stage. And we are having our first competitor, who happens to be a dear friend of mine, Paul Ungureanu from Romania. A round of applause for Romania and for Paul. Judges, you can come close.
Welcome.
And Paul, when you're ready, you can say time and start your presentation.
Of course. Ready? Time. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Paul, and I hope you all enjoyed today's journey. Fermentation has been used and known since ancient times, and today it plays such an important role in our daily life. Can you imagine living without bread, tea, and of course coffee? If you ask me, I couldn't. So, because of my passion for fermentation, I brought with me a coffee from Colombia with a unique kind of process, koji fermentation. When first heard about this coffee, it made me so curious, and when I tasted, it was exactly what I was hoping for. And unique is the perfect word to describe it. It is a red bourbon variety and have been harvested in January. It grows at 1500 meters in Region Tolima at El Vergel Estate, located on the Black Mountain, an inactive volcano that provides high nutrient soils for the coffee. The cherries have been handpicked at the target Brix of 21%, as sugars plays an important role in the processing when the carbohydrates are broken down into acids. Now please excuse me, I'm going to grind some fresh coffee for you. The menu in front is for your reference. Judges, you can write down the recipe. For today, I'm using 8 grams of coffee and 80 milliliters of water. Brewing time will be around 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Because of the fermentation process, this coffee is more soluble and it needs a faster infusion time, under 3 minutes, in order to prevent bitterness and highlight the fruity character. My burners will give me the ultimate control over the extraction. And the roasting has been done 5 days ago in 10 minutes with a 40% development time. And this profile gives clarity and a great balance between sweetness and acidity. Water that I'm using has a 2 to 1 ratio of magnesium to calcium with 100 TDS and 7.0 pH for a juicy mouthfeel and clarity in flavors. Judges, you can write down the flavor profile. First, you'll feel cocoa, lemongrass, and peach when it's hot. When it's warm, it will unlock a new note of clove. Acidity is medium in intensity, sweetness is medium, bitterness is medium to low, weight is medium, with a juicy texture and the long, pleasant finish of cocoa nibs. Judges, I want you first to evaluate the crema, smell the aroma. This is for you. And please let it 3 minutes to cool down. And after that, take 3 sips when it's hot and 2 sips when it's warm. And while it cools down, I prepared this mood board for you so I can explain you more about the koji process. As koji is a cooked rice that have been inoculated with a fermentation agent, Aspergillus oryzae. You probably know this culture because it's also used in products such as sake. So the idea behind fermenting with koji is that it breaks down the polysaccharides and pectin as well as produce amino acids. First, Elias' mother and a group of women are sorting the cherries by color and size. After that, they move them in a shallow vessel to 3 cherries depth. After that, the cherries got inoculated with a koji starter at a ratio of 5 grams per kilogram by dispersing evenly over the cherries with a wire strainer. Then, the vessel is closed to create a greenhouse environment for 36 hours. And this process unlocks sugars that are not available during a traditional fermentation. Temperature here is critical, so the farmers are checking the temperature every 4 hours. And the temperature needs to be around 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. The cherries will be ready when they are more than half covered in koji and they start to smell as tropical fruits. After that, the cherries are placed in grain pro bags, sealed, and stored in a dark room for 5 days to create a unique microclimate. Last part is Nuna, a kind of drying machine where the temperature inside is stable between 28 and 30 degrees Celsius, and here they will stay for 10 days until 11% humidity. And all this process creates complexity, structure, and spicy notes. And to celebrate this process, I'm going to start with my signature that I have been inspired by amazake, a Japanese rice fermented drink. So, I have had in the bottom part of the siphon 20 grams of Japanese tiger rice with 20 grams of cascara, 10 grams of koji with 100 milliliters of water and 50 grams of sugar that I fermented for 24 hours at a temperature between 25 and 30 degrees Celsius. And together with my coffee, it will give us a new note of mango. And on top, I'm going to add 10 grams of blackberries and 15 grams of red apple that together with the coffee, it will give us a new note of cherries. I'll let it infuse and I'll go to grind the coffee for the signature. Thank you. You can write down the recipe. 9 grams of coffee, and 80 milliliters of water. Judges, now I'm mixing the sand in order to even out the temperature. Total extraction time will be around 2 minutes to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Now you can start to evaluate as it's warm. Please remember, take at least 2 sips. Judges, the Ibrik that I'm using are made from stainless steel, but for me, the most important is the size. So I'm using a bigger Ibrik in order to have a more uniform extraction. Now, I'm filtering the coffee by using V60 with a Baca fiber filter because this is the fastest way of filtration, avoiding any bitterness and most important, no clogging. The result is a clean cup with medium-high body. Next, I'm going to add 20 milliliters of my Cascara Amazake in each drink. And 2 milliliters of Edelflower Cordial in order to boost out the floral notes of my coffee. Now, judges, I'm going to use this matcha whisk in order to aerate the drink, and this will help us increase the aromatic compounds and also make the drink more refreshing. In flavor, you'll find cherry candies, mango, and mandarin. Acidity is medium in intensity. Sweetness is high. And the bitterness is low. This is for you. Please enjoy. Oop. Sorry. And this one is for you. Judges, the effect of fermentation is often overlooked, but using a simple variety, sometimes you can have amazing and very surprising results. Thank you very much. Time.
Applauses for Paul Ungureanu from Romania, the first finalist of the day.